Hi there, you're in the lab with your mate JJ. So I thought I might record a video just talking about where things are up to on the channel and in the lab. I thought I might title this The State of the Lab 2025, and I'm gonna launch it in the channel news. I don't do much channel news, but I thought I'd do a thing. It's the beginning of the year, so I thought I might just check in and talk about where things are at and where things might be going. I had an ambition for January. Today it's the 23rd of January. This video probably won't be coming out for another week or so. I've got a lot of videos queued up to come out. As I said, it's been my ambition for January to release one video every day, and so far for January I've managed to do that. I expect that I'll make it to the end of the month with one video every day released on the channel. The numbers have been looking pretty good since I started the one video a day endeavor, which has just been running for this month. So things basically doubled, which was pretty good. I had some victories in the middle of last year because I got listed on Dave Jones's website, which was really cool, after I saw him at Electron X, which was really good fun. So I had a couple of spikes in traffic in the middle of the year, but things kind of tailed off a bit towards the end of the year. But this January everything's just bounced back a bit, which is really encouraging. Today I recorded the 20th project in the Sensor Robot 20, which is something I've been working on for a while now. So I need to record the conclusion video. I haven't done that yet, but I will do that, and then that'll put the Sensor Robot 20 to bed. We'll be finished, and then we'll be moving on to the Maxitronic 30-in-1. If you didn't know, I'm intending to do all of the Maxitronics kits, and I'm going to start from the small ones through to the big ones. So the next one to do will be the 30-in-1. I'm expecting to sort of get better at it as I go along and learn more about how to make good videos, and I have been getting better at it. The projects and the videos have been getting better, particularly as I realized that I could time lapse sort of the boring bits. So I'm trying to do a better job of that in my videos, and I think I am. I'm learning. So I expect the future videos to be better than the previous videos. And as I said, the 30-in-1 will be next, and then after that I've got the digital recording laboratory, which is an interesting thing. So we're going to be doing the Maxitronics 30-in-1, which will keep us busy for a while, and then there's the electronic digital recording laboratory, and I actually had a look at that, and it's got 59 projects, so I'm thinking about just calling it the 59-in-1 and maybe working through it, but I'm not sold on that yet. I'm still thinking about it. That's 59 projects, and then of course there's the 60-in-1. So we've got the 30-in-1, we've got the 60-in-1, and there's this thing called the Digital Recording Laboratory, which has 59 projects in it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go from the 30-in-1 to the 60-in-1, or if I'm going to do the 59 projects in the Digital Recording Laboratory. I'm still thinking about it. We've got plenty of time to think about it, because I'm going to start on the 30-in-1, and that's going to take some time to get through. Probably, I guess, about 3 or 4 months to get through. So the 30-in-1, and then maybe the Digital Recording Laboratory. Then we've got the 60-in-1, and then the 130-in-1. then the 200 in 1, then the 300 in 1, and then the 500 in 1. So that's you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of projects. It's going to take years and years and years to get through, but that's what I'm planning to do. It's going to take a while. I think I'm getting better at it as I go along. I'm thinking about introducing extra bits and pieces. I was thinking about doing an LT Spice build of the circuits, so that when we put the circuit together we could have a look at it in the simulator. I'm sort of thinking about that. I don't have a lot of experience with that yet, but I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I'm going to start that in the 30-in-1 or not. I'm not sure. And the other thing that I've been thinking about doing is a KiCad build. Literally making a circuit board for the project, and maybe getting PCBWay to sponsor the circuit boards. I think they might do that, which would be pretty cool. So yeah, that's two extra sort of things that I could be doing with the Maxitronics projects, is doing an LT Spice simulation and doing actual circuit board design and build. So just thinking about that. But yeah, I guess at this point I had a pretty good year, 2024. The beginning of 2025 has been pretty good. Managed to release a video every day so far this month. Obviously the first month of the year. I don't know, maybe I'll be able to keep that up, and who knows, maybe I'll always have a video every day forever. I don't know. The lab's been going pretty well. I feel like it's really fleshed out now. I kind of feel like there's kind of like there's build mode, which is like acquiring stuff, and then there's like use mode, which is where we sit down and actually do things. And I feel like the lab is capable now. We've got plenty of good equipment. We've got plenty of stock with bits and pieces, so I should be able to make things and do things, and it should be good. I'm not sure where I'm going to focus. I swore I wouldn't, but I did recently buy software-defined radio. I want to try and avoid getting involved with RF stuff. I want to try and stick in digital land. But I did recently buy a radio because, I don't know, it was upsold at Amazon or something, I don't know. But I got one, so I might be playing with that, we'll see. I got the Great FET 1, which is a board to help you, it's basically a protocol analyzer or a logic analyzer. But it should help me investigate I2C buses, SPI buses, maybe USB buses. I don't know. I've got to learn how to use it, so I'm still thinking about that. I got involved earlier in the year with the CCCC, the Chirp Chirp Challenge, and that's to build a MIDI synthesizer, and actually I think that was a bit beyond my pay grade when I got involved with it. And I've got all of these books I want to read. I've got USB embedded hosts, and I've got serial port complete, and I've got USB mass storage. I don't know if I really have time for this particular one. And then the granddaddy of them all, the one that I really need to read, USB Complete 5th edition. I feel like I need to know ins and outs of the USB protocol a lot better than I do, so that I can take on the MIDI synthesizer challenge. So I've got a lot to learn. There's a lot of work to do, but I haven't given up on it. It's just going to take me a little bit longer than I thought it might. I'm also working my way through this book at the moment. This is The Ultimate History of Video Games. It's a really fascinating book. It's about, I think it's really about software before the PC. In the early 80s, the late 70s, there was all this software stuff going on, but they didn't really think of it as software. They thought of it more as hardware. It was consoles and stuff, but it was software. Like, I mean, it was software that made these games work. And they didn't know that it was software that they were doing, but it was software that they were doing. So it's really quite fascinating to see the early history of the economics of software in the early 80s. It's just fascinating. So yeah. So as I said, this particular video, it's the State of the Lab 2025. So I'm just trying to check in about where things are at. We've just completed the Sensor Robot 20. You can see it sitting over there in the corner. So that's pretty cool. We got through the Maxitronics 10-in-1 earlier in the year, and we've just finished up with the Maxitronics Sensor Robot 20, which I've kind of been calling the 20-in-1. So the next project will be the 30-in-1. And we'll see how we go with that. I don't think I'm going to start the KiCad builds or the LT Spy simulations on the 30-in-1, but I'm certainly going to start to think about it. And then maybe for the digital recording laboratory or the 60-in-1, we'll take that on. So the 30-in-1 will probably take me a while to get through. I've been trying to release a Maxitronic video every 3 videos. So if I do 3 videos, one of them's a Maxitronics video. I want to make sure that there's plenty of electronics projects content on the channel. I am buying a lot of stuff at the moment, just bits and pieces, equipment, storage, you know, just dribs and drabs. So there is the odd mail call, there is the odd unboxing. This is stuff, there's probably more of it now and less of it later, I expect. I'm also hoping to catch up on the silicon chip projects, the JCar mini projects. And I'll just show you here. This is my collection of silicon chip magazines for 2024. So we're into 2025 now, but these are all the mags that came out this year, and I've got a massive backlog of silicon chip and JCar mini projects to do, and I am planning to catch up with those in short order. So you can probably expect for every 3 videos that I do over the next little while, one will be a Maxitronics video, one will be a silicon chip and JCar mini project, and then one will just be some other type of video, mail call, unboxing, demo, interlude, all those types of things. But I do want to catch up with the JCar mini projects. Have I done 2 or 3? I'm not sure. I think maybe 2. I pressed my Symbol keyboard into service. I actually use it all the time. It's sitting up the back here on my computer, and I don't know if you can see that. No, it's the cable's not long enough for me to pull it out and show you. But I have sitting on the back of my bench here a Symbol keyboard, which I use for particularly for the ohms symbol and the degrees symbol. Those are the 2 that have been particularly useful recently, so that's pretty cool. And I've also got up the back here, which I haven't turned on, dear me. Usually when I do a video I try to turn the lights on up the back there, but here, let's do that now. So yeah, I haven't turned all the computers on, but that's the lights, and you can see sort of where is it, like here, yeah, here. That's my JCAR project number 2, which is the lava lamp. So it's a emulated lava lamp. The LEDs float up to the top and float down to the bottom, so that's pretty cool. I put that up there after my friend suggested that I needed more bling in the lab. So I've done the first 2 silicon chip projects, and there's a whole heap more of them to do, and I am going to get on with that. I actually was waiting for some equipment to arrive so that I could do the 3rd one, and that's here now, so there's no excuse, so I'm going to get on with it. I don't know what the 4th project is, I haven't looked yet, but I'll be getting on with that as soon as I can as well. So yeah, expecting to see some silicon chip and JCAR projects coming out on the channel soon. I'm going to keep on keeping on with the Maxitronics project. We'll be into the 30M1. I'm not sure if there's much else really to tell you. I'm continuing with the book teardowns. I'm actually working on this one at the moment. This is Electric Circuits, which is sort of like a ground up welcome to electronics. Starts with the physics of metals and this sort of thing, so it's pretty interesting. I've started that. It's going to take ages, but I'm working away on it. So I'm not sure how much else there is really to report. What else can I tell you? Perhaps not really anything else. So this year, so far, what you can expect, we're going to start work on the 30M1. I'd be very interested if anyone actually got through the 20M1, and if they did, how they felt about it, like how they felt about the content. I try to make the video, I try to make them useful for beginners. I'm a beginner myself, and I've learned a lot doing the 20M1. The A-stable multi-vibrator. I mean, there was some big surprises for me, things that I didn't know that I learned just by doing. When I started off earlier in the year, I thought that when we looked at the circuit with the thermal cam, I thought the things that were getting hot were the transistors, but not so. The transistors weren't getting warm, the resistors were, which of course makes a whole lot of sense. So yeah, I kind of learned that. And yeah, I'm sort of gaining a finer appreciation for the way that those passive components, the resistors and the capacitors and the inductors, the way they work, and how they're actually quite different, and the different functions they serve, and the diode as well. It's quite interesting. So yeah, it's I've been learning stuff, and I'm reminded of a quote from Richard Feynman, and he said, we don't really I'm paraphrasing it. If you know the actual quote, please let me know. Just off the top of my head, it was something along the lines of, we don't really expect you to understand this, but we do expect you to get used to it. And I kind of feel a little bit like that. Like, I don't really understand electronics, but I'm starting to get used to it. I've got a lot to get used to, and I haven't got it all figured out yet, but I'm making progress, I think, personally. And frankly, that's one of my ambitions with this project, really, is to grow as an electronics hobbyist. You know, I want to get better at it. I want to understand the field better. I want to learn things. So all of this that I do, like making the videos and doing the projects, you know, I think the main goal for me is actually to grow and to learn, and this is a way to kind of do it. So so a lot of it is really just for my own edification and for my own growth. But you know, I think it'd be great if there were other people out there who sort of thought what I was doing was useful to them. I'd love to know, particularly about young people, if there's anyone out there who's interested in working through the videos that I made for the Sensor Robot 20. You know, if they've actually got the time to engage with that and work through it, and if it helps them at all, I'd love to hear about that. And I'm going to just double down and do the same thing for the 30-in-1, and hopefully get better and better and better at it, so that by the time I'm doing the 200-in-1 or the 300-in-1, hopefully the format's really well adapted by then, and the videos are engaging, and there's not too much dead time and umming and ahhing and all this sort of thing. Hopefully the quality of the production increases. I think already this year it has. I got a bit better at it as time went on. I'm still learning the tools, of course. I use a software editing tool called Kdenlive. That's how I stitched the videos together afterwards, and I record them through a system called OBS Studio. And I'm not particularly sophisticated. I just do one-shot videos. I can change scenes, but only in real time. I don't run like 5 cameras all at once and record 5 tracks and then stitch them all together in post-production. I don't do anything like that. I don't think I've got the capacity to do anything like that. That's far more involved in the editing process than I think I want to get. So I try to make sure that that the video gets recorded right at the time of recording, and if I need to jump around between things, that I do that at the time of recording. And that of course includes figuring out when I'm going to do like a time-lapse or not do a time-lapse, and so just thinking through those things in advance actually helps the quality of the video as well. Anyway, I don't know if I have much more to tell you. I just thought that I might record the State of the Lab 2025, let you know where things are at. I recently got some more storage up the back here. This new black component tray has arrived, which is really good because everything's full. So yeah, I've got a little bit more. I've got a little bit more capacity now, which is pretty good. And hopefully not too many things to go into it. I'd like to have a little bit of slack capacity in the storage. So yeah, that's all going pretty well. And I found myself at AliExpress these days, kind of like clicking through, looking at what's for sale, and I'm like, got it. So I don't think there's much more for me to get. I think I've got almost the full accoutrement. So yeah, that's all going pretty well. I'm pretty happy. Over here in the component drawers, up the top left there is a whole bunch of sensors of various sorts. And then yeah, I've got transistors up the top there, capacitors in the middle here, diodes and such down the bottom. I've got a whole bank of resistors there on the left, various bits and pieces from my Maxitronics kits down the bottom left there, all sorts of stuff up there on the far side, and bits and pieces here. I've made this this black one in the middle here that's mostly about microcontrollers. Yeah, so there's a whole lot of that stuff there, the ATtiny and the STM bits and pieces. All my Arduinos in fact are up on this other this one up here. I've got 4 drawers. I've got the what have I got? I've got the Arduino Mega, the Leonardo, the Pro Micro, the Uno, and the Nano. So I've got everything you could possibly imagine. So I should be ready to start doing some actual projects. one of the things that I'm really hoping to do is to get a actual MIDI synthesizer, and they're not very expensive. I'm going to get myself a USB mini synthesizer, and I'm going to learn how to send it like a song to play, and then I'm going to use my Great FET 1 to do a protocol analysis and actually see how that works. And then once I've got one that works, I'm going to try and emulate it and make the synthesizer. And I've given myself to the middle of the year to get it done. The actual deadline was July last year, so that you know what I love about deadlines is the whooshing sound they make as they fly past. So yeah, I'm going to make the deadline July this year. So I've got 6 months to look into that. Going to get a device and check it out. So I haven't looked much further into the future than that. I've got the Silicon Chip and J-Car mini projects to do. I've got the Maxitronics 30M1 to start. I've got the USB synthesizer to do. I've got a few bits and pieces that I'm interested in. Actually, I got this thing recently. This is called an ESP32 Basic Starter Kit. I picked it up at AliExpress. I thought I might just have a look at that. I mean, if it comes with a project or something to do, maybe more than one project. I don't know. I haven't opened it yet, so I'm planning to open that and have a bit of a go at it. So I've got plenty of things to do. Actually, if you look in the back corner here, up there behind that over here, that's a whole stack. 1, 2, 3. There's maybe, I don't know, there's maybe about 20 projects up the back there, just bits and pieces to do. I did do one of them recently. That green clock that you can see up the back there, that's that was a project I did this year. Just a random AliExpress project that came. It was a digital clock. It was the first project I did for the year because I wanted to start off the year with an actual electronics project. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased to have that clock, and the lab kind of grows. I got my my Maker Faire badge. I don't know if you remember that. We did that this year. This is from dear me, it seems to have lost one of its LEDs. But this was from Make Magazine. Make Magazine sent us this this thing earlier in the year, and we put that together. So that was a bit of fun. So I'm acquiring little bits of bling around the place. I've still got that silly pokey Xbox sign up there, which I managed to score some time ago when I bought all my Xboxes. OG Xbox is something I'm planning to get back to in the lab. I've actually been sort of directed at that for a long time, but I'm kind of going the long way. I'm building an electronics lab so that I'm ready to take that on. It's a bit beyond my pay grade at the moment, but I'm certainly very interested in doing OG Xbox refurbs, particularly recapping and just taking out the old capacitors, putting in the new ones, fixing any corrosion on the board, taking out the clock capacitor and maybe putting in a new one, and then chipping them, modding them, upgrading the hard drives, like all of these things. I'm pretty interested in it. I saw a really interesting article actually just recently about someone who managed to get a JTAG debugger, and they needed to interface it with the CPU, and they had to reball this thing, and it was a real effort just to interface it, and that they had this bit of hardware in it, and it worked with the debugging software. Very cool piece of equipment, but I don't have anything like that. I did go to eBay and have a bit of a search, but I couldn't find anything on the market that fit the bill, so I don't have a JTAG debugger for the Xbox, not yet anyway, but I'll keep my eye out. So yeah, I'm certainly interested in that. Of course, I've got Bunny's book, Hacking the Xbox, and you can get that now free online anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty interested in that. And of course, Bunny's book starts out pretty simple. Like, it shows you how to switch out the LED in the front for like a blue LED. So it's cool, and that is cool. That is cool. So yeah, I bet that's not hard. But some of the stuff that Bunny did was pretty hard. He built an FPGA to sniff the the bus. Yeah, awesome. So I'm not quite at that level yet, but that's kind of where I'm headed. Might take me a while to get there, but I do have a bunch of Xboxes, old Xboxes, to play with. So I've got some equipment I can play with, and I've got some stuff sitting out the back here. Actually, look at this. This is actually a Xbox motherboard. I've been playing with. And when you need to recap them, these are the caps really that wear out, these ones down here. And this is where the clock capacitor is on the version 1.6 boards, which is a bit different. These were the final boards, but there was a whole bunch of earlier stuff. This is the CPU, this is the GPU, yeah. And these various bits and pieces are all important. I think this is what they call the South Bridge. This and this are RAM, I think. I think this has something to do with the video system. So, yeah, again, I've got a lot to learn about this. So, yeah, the Xbox, there'll be more of that in the future, but maybe not for a couple of years. So I've got a lot to learn. I think USB, that's a good productive a field of endeavor at the moment. I showed you earlier the four books I have on USB. So I mean, that's a lot of reading to get through. And I've got that debugger called the Great FET 1. It looks pretty interesting. Honestly, I don't know how to use it yet. I've heard it can do the things that I want to do, but I don't know how to make it do that yet, so I'll have to learn. I'll tell you, the other thing that I'm interested in getting is a thing called the Syntheon, which I believe is involved in USB analysis particularly, and I'm certainly interested in that, so I might be having a look at that soon too. Anyway, is there anything more for me to tell you? Perhaps not. I've sort of rambled on quite a lot, haven't I? So yeah, that's the state of the lab 2025. We're just going to keep on keeping on this year. So if you've been watching my videos, thank you very much. It's really an honor to have you. Thanks for hanging out. I do hope that I can do something that is valuable and interesting, and perhaps a little bit different. I am not afraid to be niche. I don't need to be popular, but I would like to be relevant. Like, I'd like to be interesting. I think one of the approaches I take with my videos is to show you everything. Like, I want everything to be like behind the scenes. I don't want you to feel like there's anything that I'm keeping from you or some magic secret sauce or anything like that. I just want you to show you everything that's involved. And to that end, when I make my videos, I do try to make them like from beginning to end in like one thing, so you actually see everything. I don't want to waste people's time with stuff that's just bump. But I also at the same time don't want to take out stuff that might be of interest to people who really want to know how the whole thing actually how the sausage is made, if you know what I mean. I'm not sure if that's the right take or not, but that's kind of my attitude at the moment, which might be a bit different to the attitude that other people take. So I guess I'm going for that kind of longer form content that's it's more detailed and perhaps a bit slower. And I do appreciate that people are busy and they don't have the time for everything. I think some people would do well to actually watch my videos at like 3 times speed, you know, and just really hammer through them. But of course, that's up to people. Yeah, I record them as is. Of course, one thing I should say is I don't put any music in my videos. I kind of take the view that, you know, BYO music, right? You might like to play your own music in the background while you watch my videos, so I don't put any music in my videos so that you can just play your own music when you're watching the videos. Anyway, I've kind of rambled on for quite a long time. I didn't think this video would take as long as it has. Yes, the video is called The State of the Lab 2025. I feel like I've told you the important things. We're going to be doing more Maxitronics videos. We're going to be doing more Silicon Chip and JCar Mini projects. We're going to keep on building out the lab and fleshing out the bits and pieces, but I think you can expect the unboxings and such to slow down a little bit. I have actually got some sponsored content, and I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I was contacted by a Chinese headset manufacturer, and they're going to send me a demo unit. They've asked me to demo their thing, and I'm like, sure, I'll demo your thing. So they sent me one, and it's on the way. And of course, last year I did a little bit of stuff sponsored by PCBWay. So I have had a bit of sponsorship stuff going on. If anyone thinks that's gross or offensive or anything like that, let me know. But I kind of don't see any harm in it. I'm happy to demo their products, and if they're decent products, well, then they're decent products. So I'm looking forward to checking out these headphones. They're like wireless with one ear and a headset thing. So yeah, should be good. So you can expect to see that coming up. And yeah, but as I said, it's just going to be more Maxitronics stuff, more mini project stuff, and then just filler with all the other bits and pieces. I'm very much interested in USB. I'm trying to be directed towards MIDI synthesizers, and the long game for me is original Xbox. And something else that's of interest is mathematics, and I'm not really sure how I'm going to tackle that yet, because I've been thinking about going back to the 9th grade and just starting with some very, very basic high school mathematics and sort of working through from there. I'm interested in doing it, which is why I plan to do it. I just don't know how well tolerated it'll be. I don't know if people have the patience for it. I don't want to annoy people with stuff that they feel is too simple or beneath their dignity. So if you feel strongly against mathematics, junior mathematics content on the channel, I'd be happy to hear from you if that's how you felt. But if no one objects too strenuously, I think I'll be doing some of that this year. I'm kind of planning to make it a regular part of what I do, some of this mathematics stuff. So I haven't started that yet, and I haven't started because I'm still thinking about how I'll do it. And I've got cameras over here that are set up to do it, and I have to say I'm not really happy with how it looks. It's a bit pokey. I've got these silly flaws, and it's just a bit sloppy. It'd be nice to have a great big table where I could do everything, but I don't have such a thing, so it might be a bit ugly. Anyway, we'll take that as it comes, but that might be something else that you'll see around here this year, is a little bit more mathematics content on the channel. I am planning to get into calculus, advanced calculus, you know, university grade mathematics, also statistics, particularly, and some other stuff. I mean, I'm certainly interested in group theory. I'm interested in category theory. but I don't know much about it, and I'm not ready to go there yet. I just want to start earlier and work on the foundations a little bit. Yeah, you might see a little bit more of that around here. I don't know. I'm still thinking about it. But I can promise you Maxitronics projects, and I can promise you JCar Mini projects. That's all I can promise. But there's other stuff that's floating around there as a possibility. And again, if you've been watching the channel, if you're watching this video, and you have any thoughts or feelings, I'd be very happy to hear from you. I don't get a lot of feedback from my viewers. I know people are out there. I get likes and I get views and I get subscribers, but I don't get many comments. I get a couple of comments, but not as many as I could handle. I could certainly be more engaged than I am. So if you've got something to say, please let me know. I'd be very happy to hear from you. Anyway, look, I'm going to wrap it up. That's the state of the lab 2025. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching. I was trying to conclude the video and I pressed the stop button too soon. What I was trying to say is, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks very much for watching, and please remember to hit like and subscribe.